Welcome. Here is Mr. Morari. Morari means teacher in the Oracle language of Cameroon. Now it's a skill gap solution presentation here. This is me. And our children are using English, yes, as their primary language for knowledge acquisition. And today in Cameroon, we have this phenomenon where even Francophone families, they're, increasingly, interested in having their kids pursue Anglo-Saxon education. But the issue now is we have now an issue. English is not our first language, our maternal language. And why do I say that? Because we don't use it at home. We don't use it at home. Do we sit in the weekend with kids and we speak freely and we develop our vocabulary and we, just like what? Just like our counterparts, like Americans and British people, Australian, New Zealanders, right? They sit and the kids from a very young age, you see little kids on TV and they speak and express themselves freely. They express themselves even in complex sentence structures that we only find ourselves learning them in probably class 6, class 7. But naturally, because that's how organically these foreign kids, English is both their maternal language and the primary choice for knowledge acquisition. So how can we compete with them? Now look at these areas of intelligences and ask yourself first, word smart, how much English do your kids know before you want to say they can use it to talk about all these things, okay? Next part, we want to use technology to solve some of the skill gap, right, that we find ourselves in vis-a-vis or in comparison with our counterparts in the Western world. So do we need a long-term solution or a short-term solution? Now, a long-term solution will be you having your home totally transformed. You have a computer in your home. It could be a laptop, a desktop, a phone. But avail this to your children. Yeah, make it available to your children so that they can use it now to study. Now, if you want to practice some English, we have a lot of resources. Online, there's the englishgrammar.org where you can go and practice your English. I go around throwing a lot of workshop, inviting principals of schools, teachers, head teachers, teachers across the board, nursery, primary, secondary, also with students. We've done a lot of workshop, especially on technology. We've done some workshop in the presence of CRTV and some Afrique Media. Some other media houses have covered our activities, all right? But what is very special with what I'm doing is a crusade to help us level the playing field, catch up, transform our homes to an ordinary home in China, where I managed an American training school in Beijing. I attended the premier university in China, in Beijing, and also a product in Cameroon. I was a top student in Cameroon education way back in the day with 25 points at the advanced level education. But when I got to China, my heart was blown. My mind was blown because some of my classmates already had companies that they managed, by themselves. So they have companies of my own too. And here we are. This crusade is to get kids of African descent as we serve over 5,000 families online with some of our resources. All right. So again, we have resources where we can get books, because in Cameroon, there's a phenomenon where you can't find libraries with books. Want to go buy books or you go to bookshops, you can't see like storybooks about science, storybooks about nature, storybooks about just culture or life for 3 years old, and then probably another 100 books for 4 years old, another 200 books for 5-year-olds. Yeah, our libraries are not like that. Our bookstores are not like that. So how do we solve that problem? Yeah, we are in a global world today. With technology, these resources here, we have solved a lot of those problems. Again, what mathematics should you acquire at the 4th grade, at the 5th grade, or class 5, class 4? We have resources with all the mathematics that you would imagine at every level, the notes, the questions, the answers. We have all these resources. Again, I am a resource person because I've done that in the school I manage in China, the Mayflower Education, okay? And I am availing all that. We're already serving a lot of families. We've been operating in Cameroon for a number of years now. Okay. Again, I've spoken to senators, parliamentarians, chancellors of universities, stakeholders at the nursery, primary, and secondary level. And myself, again, I'm kind of like a doctor of the brain to diagnose where kids are facing difficulties and to solve the problem immediately. We've had some from 5 students of Anglophone background to pass French. We've had kids studying arts to pass math and have A grades. We've had some Francophones to pass English. And we've had school kids in the technical schools. We've availed them with resources because they wanted to get like electric motor or thermometer or something. We've helped them, with all these different, our children don't have these tools, especially like books. Do you have a library at home? Like in China, a Chinese kid of 4 years old has a library with more than 5,000 books. Again, in Chinese, in English, and probably Japanese, and all that. Again, here we want to use technology. So just get yourself a laptop, a desktop, a phone, a tablet, and get in contact with us. And again, we have our online platform where you can actually sit and hear me lecture. As a parent, you can attend my lecture with your child, or you watch some of my lectures on our YouTube channel to actually say, hey, this is too good to be true. Let me see who is this person. Again, I am Mr. Morari. Okay, Mr. Teacher. Morari means teacher. There's an app called VOOV Meeting. It's free. You download it. Our meeting ID is this. Our password is this. Or you can reach me if you have some questions. You can reach me here or here. I'll be seeing you very soon. We have a lot of lectures on grammar, on how to sit at home, discuss with parents, discuss with your kids, get them to speak English, get them to open their mouth, get them to talk about their day, how they wash pan, do the dishes, draw pictures, how to put food for table, set the table, how to remove food for table, clear the table, like get kids to talk, use, activities, short activities, words like do the dishes, draw pictures, clear the table, take pictures, make the bed, sweep the floor, wash the clothes, and see how they combine that to make full sentences, and then not only answer or tell you about your day, but also ask questions and give you positive answers as well as negative answers. For example, do you take pictures? Yes, I take pictures. No, I do not take pictures, right? So to make these sentences and actually express their ideas and start doing that from as young as 3 years old. So we'll have a series of classes in math, in English, in programming, using some of these resources that we advertise here. Yeah, PictoBlock, AI, learn how to code on this website, and Scratch. As early as 3 years old, your kid can start to, use our resources. Okay, and as early even as 2 years old, you can use our online library and start reading to your kids. You have over 50,000 books available to you. I want us to be able to use technology to catch up as a community, okay? Our children have a lot of time at their disposal. How are they putting that time to use? You as parents, schools, educators, we can play a pivotal role in changing our situation so that, like me, you not only will you have your 25 points, 24 points at advanced level, doesn't matter, but before you even get to that point, maybe you already have an idea on how you want your life to look like. Okay, have your dreams, and nothing has been, on the way of blocking that dream. Okay, because your parents, through technology, have availed you with all the necessary resources you will need to pursue a life of liberty and unlimited potential. All right, see you. This is Mr. Morari again. I bid you adieu and be seeing you in our next series as time unfolds.